Hi, my name is Coach B, the CEO, co-creator of Extraordinary Outcomes. I'm an ordinary person with extraordinary aspirations who believes and live a life fully alive. Welcome to Monday Morning Magic. Morning, CEOs. Good morning. Co-creators of Extraordinary Outcomes. Good morning. My name is Coach B, the CEO. And welcome to Monday Morning Magic, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for your personal and professional development. Today's topic, be authentic. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. If you are watching this on the replay, feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to share. Feel free to like. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Where can you find me? On YouTube. I am right here, Coach B dash the CEO. And again, welcome. Today's topic, be authentic. Be authentic. I want to say that I had the most powerful few days. The last few days have been very, very powerful for me for a number of reasons. One, I got a chance to do a little bit of traveling, taking care of some business, and in the interim of the traveling and taking care of business, this topic of being authentic came up. And one of the reasons why it came up was, do I really understand who I am? Who I am. Not who you are so much, but who am I? Who am I? And in the interest of who am I have assets, I have liabilities. And this is not abnormal for a human being to have assets and to have liabilities. When I first learned about assets and liabilities, it was about 30 years ago. I was in a program that I still continue to go to, but at the time, I had not heard the term assets and liabilities. That's why I said when I was in a program. So let me reference that. I had not heard about assets and liabilities. And I was like, oh, so there are some things about me that I do well, right? And there are other things in my life that I need improvement on. Now, that could be tangible or intangible. What I got from learning about assets and liabilities is that I'm neither all good or all bad. I'm neither all good or neither all bad. It's not all of one thing and or all of the other thing. Like there is a mixture of my assets and my liabilities, the things that I need improvement on. So when I say that this subject matter comes up again, and it will continue to come up, being authentic is a daily process. It's a daily process. So, am I present? Am I being present to who I am in the here and moment right now? There's a comment up. Let me put this up. G.I. Jane says, go girl. Thank you for your support, GIJ. So again, what happens is when I'm being authentic, it is a daily practice. It is a daily practice of being authentic. And the first part about being authentic for me is being present in the moment of who I am. Who am I in the moment? Am I living in my asset? Am I living in my liability, in the thing that needs improvement? Be authentic. Again, I'm neither all good, I'm neither all bad. However, I am a mixture of assets and liabilities. Who am I choosing to be in the moment? Who am I choosing to be in the present moment is really important for the foundation. Being authentic also means knowing my core values. See, when we're younger, people instill into us what they want our values to be, right? So, she says, Janet Sereno, thank you, Janet Sereno. Really appreciate that comment, right? So, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be? Right? Who do I want to be? Not what other people said I am, who they thought I needed to be in the moment. That wasn't my authentic self. What that was other people pouring into me their values, their beliefs, and who they thought that I needed to be as I was growing up, as a child. Who did I need to be? Again, who did I need to be when I was a child? As an adolescent, I was discovering for myself who did I want to be. Now, whether or not I was able to live into it, that's for another video. But what we're talking about is being authentic in the here and now, being authentic right now, today, right now, today, being present in the moment. So when I say be authentic, know your core values. They consist of your belief system and your behavior. They consist of your belief system and your behavior. And so G.I. Jane says, I want to be someone that inspires, and connection is so important because when love is poured into all the greatness within pours out. So I think what G.I. Jane is saying is that listen, when people pour into us from love, we get an opportunity to pour that out. And that's a very good comment, a very good observation of G.I. Jane, Janice Sereno. That is a very, very good observation. When people pour love into us, then we pour love out. Again, what is our core values? Because they consist of our beliefs and our behavior. I act according to the way that I believe. I act in accordance to the way that I believe. Now, here's the hit. Here's the catch to this. Here's the hit. Here's the catch. Here's the caveat that sometimes I'm not in touch with my core values. Sometimes what's happening is this: I have other people's values instilled in me. And that's what I'm reacting to. That's what I'm responding to. That is the way that I'm behaving. It's not really my value, but it's the value that was instilled in me. So this is the way that I do things now. Sometimes we have to step back. Sometimes we have to step back and ask ourselves, is this my value? Is this someone else's value? Is this value, let's go with it, is it outdated? Is this a value that no longer serves me? Is this belief system faulty? Is my behavior out of sync? Is it a little bit wacky? What are my current values? And then what's the experience? That we stay open to change. What my values were 5 years ago, 10 years ago, are no longer my values today. So let me see what G.I. Jane said it again. She said, safety is a value for her. And thank you for saying that, G.I. Jane, because safety is a value for me too, right? Safety, mental, emotional, spiritual, financial, all of those safeties are important to me. So if I feel unsafe, then I might need to change something. I might need to find a way to do what? Safeguard myself, safeguard the circumstances, safeguard the scenario. And what that might mean is that I leave. That I leave an unsafe circumstance. If it's unsafe for me emotionally, mentally, physically, financially, then I need to stay in check. I need to be present with my authentic self. I don't have to stay somewhere, irrespective of who it is, where I am unsafe. See, my values of a long time ago said, well, I love you. I want to be there for you, irrespective of how I feel unsafe, that I'll stay. My values now as an adult says if you put me in a compromising position that makes me feel unsafe, I'm not staying. I'm not staying. I'm okay with that. I'm not staying. If I can leave, I will leave. Why is that important to me? Because I understand today that safety is important. My emotional safety is important. My psychological safety is important. My physical safety is important. My financial safety is important. So if I feel unsafe, I have a choice to remove myself. I no longer need to stay in places or circumstances or situations where I feel unsafe. I have a choice today and I can leave. Whatever the outcome will be, whatever the downfall will be, whatever the ruckus might be on the other end, that's okay. I can deal with that later when that comes up. I can deal with that later when that comes up. I no longer, G.I. Jane, Janice says, wow, right? I no longer have to stay in places where I feel unsafe. That is my value. She says, I love your transformation. Kudos, sis. Kudos to you, G.I. Jane, Janet. Yes. So for me, being authentic means that I be present in the moment, what's happening, what's going on, that I understand what my core values are, because my core values shape my belief systems and my behavior. And I want to stay open to the experience because my values, your values differ. And I want to respect your values, but I want you to respect mine too. So here's the scenario. Different places do things a different way. Doesn't make one right, doesn't make one wrong. It just makes it different. So the other thing that I'm learning about being authentic is this: what applies to me does not necessarily apply to you. Why is that? Because you have a different situation, you have a different set of circumstances, a different scenario, you have a different belief system that is what? Different from mine. It is different from mine. It doesn't make you good, doesn't make me bad, it doesn't make me bad, and it doesn't make you good. It doesn't make any of those things. It just makes it different. That's all that it is. But what can happen on occasion is that we get so attached to our values, we begin to impose them on other people. And when they do not respond or react in the way that we believe or think that they should, it creates friction. It creates friction. Sometimes the friction don't look so nice, but sometimes the friction helps us grow, right? Because if we're open to communications. We can say, hey, I thought this, I felt this, I thought this, I felt that. And then we can come to an agreement on how we would like to do what? Coexist in the future if that same scenario or situation comes up. Again, be authentic. Be authentic for me means I show up in the present moment. I understand what my core values are. I understand that they differ from one person to another. I understand that I need to be open to change. That this is not, and let me repeat that. This is not, and I'm going to say it one more time. This is not a right or wrong or good or bad. It's just that it is different. I have a smile on my face today because, as I said earlier, I understand that one of my core values is safety, emotional safety, mental safety, physical safety, financial safety. I understand that about me. And I believe that that is a core value that won't change. Let me see what this says right here. What did you say? She said, this is a great platform, Lilo. So proud of you. I will be here religiously. Thank you for your ongoing support, GIJ. Really appreciate it, right? Again, for me, this is a value that I didn't have or was not afforded to have when I was younger. I was in situations as a child, I was around adults who had different values that instilled different things. See, the people I grew up around, they thought that respect was through intimidation. They thought respect was through intimidation. They thought that yelling, screaming, and hollering was going to make you respect them, make you listen to them. And in the interim, being a child, I had no choice. I was a child. I'm an adult now. I can leave the situation. I do not have to be subjected to that. I don't have to be subjected to that. So I'm being authentic, I'm being myself with a smile on my face. I know today that that behavior of yelling, screaming, cursing, profanity, I know that that doesn't make me feel safe. So I know that I have a choice to leave. I know that that type of communication is toxic. I know that. When I was a child, whew, I was subjected to that. I was subjected to that every day, all day. If I didn't say or do something somebody wanted, I would be yelled at, fussed at, cursed at, the whole nine. But what I didn't know then as a child, but once I went to school, once I got an education, got a higher education, got into a program, learned about assets and liabilities, and some places they call it defects of character. What I learned was that was traumatic. That wasn't communication. That wasn't love. That wasn't care. That wasn't concern. It was traumatic. If you are a child and somebody's yelling and screaming, cursing and throwing hands up and all of that, that's traumatic for a child. That's not love. That's someone else as an adult who lacked effective communication skills, someone who was probably hurt, someone who probably had their own issues going on at the time, didn't know how to manage or handle it, and was doing the best that they could in the moment. But the impact and the effect on me was what? I'm scared to death. Oops. Oh, that's not a problem with you too, right? I'm scared. I'm quivering. I'm walking on eggshells. I'm trying to be nice so that you don't get mad. I'm trying to walk around and Put a smile on and do this and do that, because I don't want you to get upset because I'm afraid. I'm afraid. I'm a child. I'm afraid. I don't want to upset the apple cart. The apple cart. I don't want to upset it. I don't want to make mommy mad. I don't want her to scream and yell and use profanity. I don't want her to hit me. I don't want that to happen. So let me just, tighten up. Let me make sure I do everything right. Don't do this. Don't do that. Man, those days are long gone. Those days are long gone. Sometimes, as parents and adults, we do not understand how our faulty communication skills impact the people around us. And we carry those skills, those faulty skills, into our adulthood, and we think it's normal. We think it's normal. We think it's effective, and it's not. So, for me to be authentic, I want to be present in the moment. And me being present in the moment is understanding that I value safety. That I value safety. Emotional, mental, physical, and financial. Today, as an adult, you can say what you want to say. You can act the way that you want to act. I do not have to stay. And I'm not worried about whether you still like me, you still love me, whether or not you still want to speak to me, whether or not you still want to be bothered with me. See, those were the things back when I didn't understand what my values were, that kept me locked and loaded in situations that were unhealthy for me, because I didn't know. I didn't know that I had a choice to say no. I didn't know I had a choice to leave. And as an adult, again, as an adult, be authentic, be present in the moment, know your core values. As your core values do what? They shape your beliefs and they shape your behavior. And understand, stay open to change, because we're growing and we are evolving. We're growing and we're evolving. We're growing and evolving. What's the coaching question for today? What are your current, not from way back when? What are your current core values? What are your belief systems? How do you behave? What are your belief systems and how do you behave? Does your behavior impact people positively or negatively? As we grow, we can no longer go, well, I don't care what other people feel. I don't care what other people think. As an adult, as an adult, we want to understand who we are, because who we are and who we are being impacts other people. Now, again, be authentic. Know your core values. What are your belief systems? How are your belief systems affecting your behavior? And we want to stay open to change. And the coaching question for today is simply this: what are your current core values? How are they impacting your life and the people who are around you? How are they impacting their lives as well? Hey Teresa, how you doing? What did Teresa say? I also I I also am learning my core values, right? This is a real thing, people. This is a real thing. What are your core values? Because they impact our authenticity. Safety and authenticity go hand in hand. They go hand in hand. Teresa, no, hi there, my love. Good, all right. Teresa's coming in. Teresa, right? Value, right? What's your value? What's your value? I am valuable. Thank you, Teresa, for saying that. I am valuable. And when you're valuable, you want to be treated with care, concern, and compassion. When you have something that is valuable, you treat it with care, love, and compassion. Again, today's topic: Be authentic, know your core values, your beliefs, your behaviors, and stay open for change. What worked yesterday might not work today. I see we have a couple of more comments. Yes, wow, that was powerful, Teresa. And Teresa is, yes, know your worth. Know your worth. Because if you don't, you'll be stuck in some stuff. And I would just leave it like that. This has been your Monday Morning Magic, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time. We'll see you. Let me just bring this up. We'll see you next Monday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for the support, G.I. Jane and Teresa. Much love. One.